welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today I'm coming on to show you the masks again. I had some requests after posting the last video on the masks, and I used, there's 4 masks in there, so I used the trees, which are like that, which are absolutely beautiful. And then I used this really lovely sort of squirrely, florally sort of, foliage sort of pattern on there. And I thought that that was lovely. And as I say, I had some requests to come on and do something with the other 2. So that's what I'm doing today. Now, these masks are called, let me have a little look and make sure I've got the names right. They are Basic Pattern Decorative Masks. So there's 4 of them and you can do all sorts of with them. So I'm going to keep it fairly simple, and we're going to start with the spots, because I think the spots are quite fun. So what I always do is to put my mask over and then to just line up the grid paper where I want it. Now, I want these spots to sort of be coming all the way through, so I'm just going to line it up like that. Take some washi tape that you have de-tacked a little bit because you don't want it to be sticking on too much, and then literally just secure it onto your mask. Then I thought we would do this one in some rainbow effect because I really like rainbows. So let's turn this over, and the spots allow a rainbow really prettily. So I've got some varying different colours. I've got Granny Apple Green, Pacific Point, Pumpkin Pie, Melon Mambo and Gorgeous Grape, because I wanted it to be quite bright and vibrant. So we are going to, if we're having a rainbow, I'm going to start with the centre colour first. So the Pumpkin Pie is going to be in the middle. So I'm just going to take a sponge, ink it up, and I'm going to do it across in a strip running across at a diagonal, because I want it to be to all sort of blend through, and I think running it through in a diagonal it'll work quite well. So just taking it right the way through to the top. As I've always said, spend time building up the colour as you want to, but I'm literally just doing one stripe in the orange, and then that's going to be my middle. So I want to go blue and green, green and blue, green and blue, I think. Right, so the next one is going to be the green, and that is going to come up on the next layer up. So let me just take the next sponge, ink that up, and we're going to do the green, and again just sort of run it through, so you've got that running through in a line, and it blends through a little bit onto the other colour. Okay, so that's our green. To try and get those in the right place. My sponges I use again and again. I just wash them under the tap, and then you've got clean ones. They will, the dark colours of anything dye quite a bit, so you do get them different colours, but once they're washed they're quite nice and clean. So we're going to have the Pacific Point up at the top, running into this corner up on here, and again we can just blend it through just a little bit onto the first one. Then we are going to, now I'm going to turn this round because I'm right-handed and I don't want it to come through onto my work. So we've got blue, green, orange. Then we are going to have the pink, so let's move those that way and this way. So the Melon Mambo, and the Melon Mambo is going to come into this piece here. So again, just doing it in a stripe. You can do it sort of however you want, but I think this looks quite it works quite well with the spots. So again, just a line and bring it down just a little bit into sort of the first spot of the one below, and then that gives you just a little bit of the colour. And as I say, you can do it as often as you want to build up that colour. The spots are really nice because they give quite a sort of a subtle look, so it does work quite well. And then the last one we're going to do is the Gorgeous Grape, which is the lovely dark purple colour, which will go up into this corner quite nicely, and I want it to be quite vibrant, so I'm just bringing that down quite a bit. And as I say, you can do as many colours as you want, as few colours as you want. It's entirely up to you. I'm just sort of blending it through like that. Oh, says me, I think I've just knocked my camera with my head. I've got it quite low at the moment so you can see, and unfortunately sometimes we get a bit of a woggle on there. Okay, so let's take this off and see what it's going to look like. So I'm very carefully just taking the tape off and then just peeling it off so we can have a look at this one, and then we can use it for the next one with the other one. So this is sort of quite a nice sort of spotty colour. Oh yes, you see, now that's really lovely. I do like that. I love that sort of variegation of the colour coming through. And to put that on a card very quickly, I would I've done a few little pieces because I thought I would use those colours. So we'll take the Gorgeous Grape as a matte and just put that on there. Take that out of the way just for a second. And you can see the really lovely shades of colour in there. And then I've got a little piece of, I've used the Brights Designer Series paper. So I would put a little piece on here. I'd obviously cut it down. And then we can put, I've cut some of the Christmas trees because I thought we could have it as a bit of a birthday rather than a Christmas one. So we can put these across. We can do them in the same colours, or we can sort of split them out a bit. So I thought I would maybe just split them out just a little bit. And I'm only doing this to just show you. It's not a finished sort of project on there. And then put the blue on there like that. And then maybe put birthday wishes. You could have birthday wishes at the bottom. You could have it in the centre across there. Or you could have a "You're simply the best" put in the middle, or again just down at the bottom. But that gives you sort of an idea of what you could do with that background, just as something very simple. So you can see, as I say, I love that. I think that's really pretty. And again, matching it on. You could match it onto any of the cardstock that's that colour to just give a different look. But as I say, I like that. I think that's very pretty. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So I've cut exactly the same. It's just a matte. And we are going to, I'm going to put that out of the way for now. We'll bring it back at the end. So we now have this one. Do I want it to be a landscape or do I want it to be a portrait? I think I'll have this one as a portrait, actually. So let's do exactly the same thing. We want the leaves. I think we want the leaves going upwards. So I'm going to put it on this way this time. And again, just line it up sort of roughly where I want it. I'm not overly worried about the positioning of it because it is going to be a background, so you want it sort of fairly random. You want to try and get your paper straight if you can. Says me, that looks a bit cockeyed, but let's try and get that a little straighter. That one down on there, this one up on there like that, and that one on that side. Okay, so this time I think we are going to use varying different shades of green. So I've got the Granny Apple green here, haven't I? I just need to remember which sponge it was. Oof, are we going to get it right? I think it might be that one, was it? No, that was the orange. So was it one before then? That's blue. Should have put it with it, shouldn't I? That's purple. There we go, that's the green one. Okay, so I am going to start with the Granny Apple green, and then I'm going to let's get some other greens out while I'm at it. So I've got some Old Olive, which is darker, and I've got some Mossy Meadow. I think those three will work. So we'll start with the lightest, and we'll just put those in on here. Open my ink, and we can use the same sponge right the way through in this. So I'm just going to literally go all over it in the one colour to start off with. And again, you can see it does sort of go quite quickly. I think masks are a great thing to use because they just give that background that you can then work with, or you can actually cut out of it, you know, cut some circles or some rectangles or things out of it and build up a card in that way. Okay, so that's all our Granny Apple green. Now we're going to go one shade darker, so we need to go into the Old Olive. And again, for shading with this, I find the best way is to just add little bits here and there. So I'm just going to just give some little pieces, and in fact it's just over some areas on there, not too much, just a little bit, just give a little bit of definition. And then we're going to go on to the Mossy Meadow. So the Mossy Meadow, again, very similar to how I did it on the other cards. So this is going to be, hopefully, is going to be quite a bit darker. So I just want that probably just round the edges a little bit, I think. So I'm going to take this sort of up more onto the edge part, which will give a little bit of a definition in on there. And you can see I'm doing it quite quickly, but I think it will. And then maybe just a tad at the bottom of each one of these leaves, if I can work it out. So just literally as if you would do a bit of shading on the bottom of each one of these leaves. So I'm just literally just rubbing it just at the bottom to just give a little bit of difference in colour on there. Okay, let's try that and see what that looks like. Now again, you could tone it in with other colours, so you could take some sort of autumnal colours in on there as well if you wanted to, but let's have a little look and see how that's come out. I'll take that out. Oh yes, I like that. So let's take these off carefully, and you can see because I've already de-tacked them and it's the second time of using it, they do peel off really easily, and you're then not tearing the card, which is quite important. So I'll take that on there and put that one, and you have that lovely background as well. So I think, you know, again, you can see the definition in the colour. Just using those three, you get some sort of lights and darks and things coming up in there. So let's have a look at the first one back again, just in the colours. So you've got this one and you've got that one, which give you two different ideas with the masks. There's 4 of them in the packet, and they are really inexpensive, and you can do so many things with them. So thank you so much for watching me. Do look forward to seeing you again. Bye bye.